Over the years, we have represented numerous clients like Trevor in establishing paternity, custody, and parenting time rights. When Trevor had come to us, he was a single man in his late 20s. His ex-girlfriend recently gave birth to a son. They had several fights prior to the child's birth and a big one recently. The relationship was over, and he was worried. He wanted to establish his father's rights to his son. He had grown up without a father and urgently wanted a life for his son that he never had. But his ex was not letting him see the newborn. He was pretty sure about paternity, but she had told him that his name wasn't on the birth certificate, and she kept saying that he didn't know how to care for a baby. He also wanted to make sure his son's mother had the money she needed for diapers, food, and other needs, but he was afraid. He made decent money, but he had heard stories of guys turning over their whole paychecks for child support, medical insurance, and childcare. He didn't want this court thing to go sideways, leaving him with no rights and no money. 2 weeks after hiring AFL, we commenced Trevor's paternity/custody/parenting time action by serving his ex-girlfriend and filing the petition with the district court. The paternity test verified that Trevor was the child's father. Though it hardly seemed necessary, at his first visit, Trevor immediately recognized the father-son resemblance. There was no doubt that the child was Trevor's son. At the next hearing, the court order required Trevor's ex-girlfriend to complete a parenting education course. This was her first child, and thus the judge wanted her to learn how to care for children as they developed. Trevor was excluded from the court order because months earlier, we had him complete a parenting class at a local community college. Trevor was awarded joint legal custody with his ex-girlfriend, meaning he had a say in the important legal, medical, educational, and religious upbringing decisions of his son's life. The paternity order was issued, which included an amendment of the birth certificate to list Trevor as the father. The parenting time schedule included future increases as his son matured out of infancy. And despite the child support amount, Trevor could afford a place of his own for father-son time. I sit down with each client after the final order. Trevor and I met in my office, both hoping this would be our last official encounter. We reviewed what was discussed in that first meeting, and his goals and major concerns going forward. We talked about how his parenting time will change in the future, and we went over child support, and I gave him some pointers to look out for. Before we parted ways, I made sure that Trevor knows I'd still be available in the months and years ahead to answer any questions he might have. It's important to me to make sure no client walks away from their custody case feeling like they are alone. They can always pick up the phone and call me. Being a custody attorney has its challenges, but there's nothing I'd rather be doing than help people through this important life transition. If you need help with a family law issue, please don't hesitate to call me, or send a request online and we'll reach out to you. Don't get discouraged. We're here for you, and we'll be with you through the entire process.